Okay, it's an increasingly wet day in New York. Here we are in the park, and with me is Rudkowski of We Are Change New York, who we met last year when I was here, and he's done a great job and doorsteps famous people and puts questions to them that other people won't do. And you've been here since day one, haven't you, mate?
I've been here since day one, from the very beginning when it first kicked off. I've been here almost every other day that things have been happening down here. As we see, there's a commotion right now with the police officers. The police have really not been behaving like they should. It says serve and protect. All they've been doing is beating and pepper spraying people who, not only people who are here to protest, but even me as a journalist who's covering everything that's happening here outside of protesting, just documenting. I got personally maced. I got a nightstick to the gut a couple times. I got a horse that stepped on me. I got shoved and pushed to the floor. And all I'm here to try to do is to document and show the world what's happening here and try to get the real inside story here.
I've said to a number of people, looking around, there are definitely some police officers that just want to fight. They're just looking for a battle.
Oh, they're definitely looking, just to instigate. This movement, what intrigues me about it very much, it's a non-violent, peaceful movement, peaceful resistance like Martin Luther King and Gandhi. Pretty much the same principles behind We Are Change are the same principles being practiced here and exemplified. So these people are trying to take this country back in a peaceful manner, because everybody's been talking about the riots, the class wars that are going to come. These people are trying to prevent all that from happening. They're trying to prevent people from fighting people, and they're trying to bring everybody together. That's what really intrigues me and makes me want to be out here every single day to find out more about it, to expose how this is really breaking down. And to me, this is really an historic moment. And I know many people have their different thoughts and ideologies behind this. They say it's co-opted or not. What makes me sure that it's not is because of the horizontal process, because of all the different groups of people here. I've been here when other groups tried to take this over for more government system, for more taxes, more government regulation, more government jobs. I've been here, but they failed. And because of this horizontal democratic process. And seeing this from the first time I was here since day one, Yahoo censored them, Twitter censored them, the mainstream media censored them until they couldn't any longer, because the people were talking about it. Everybody on YouTube, everybody on the internet was talking about how the police are pepper spraying women after cattling them in nets. Yeah. So it's something the mainstream media now has to cover. And again, I have to say, this movement hasn't been co-opted yet, but many attempts have been made by the Democratic Obama Party to try to take this over as a re-election campaign, and they failed.
That's the point, that if you can't ignore something, the point comes when you think, well, if we can't ignore it, it's not going away, we'll take it over. Yeah. And that's the really important thing, that it's not allowed to happen.
Exactly. They did it to the Tea Party. Tea Party was grassroots. Started out with not 11 truthers and Ron Paulers, and then it was taken over by the Republican Party with Sarah Palin and Glenn Beck. What we just saw here a couple days ago is that they failed to co-opt us. So now that they failed to co-opt us for their own means, their own agenda, they squash it. They want to destroy it, and that's what we've seen, a federal government meeting up with 18 mayors on a conference call to try to squash this movement and destroy it. But as I saw a beautiful sign out here just a couple days ago, this young girl was holding a sign, "You screw us, we multiply." And that's the real power behind all these people here. Screw us and we multiply. It's raining, it's pouring. I'm freezing my butt off here, but I'm joined out here with brothers and sisters from all walks of life, all ideologies, who had enough and are sick of what's happening here, and they want to make a difference and they want to make a change. And it's beautiful, it's amazing.
To what extent, Luke, are people starting to, who came for the financial injustice and the financial enslavement, or starting to encompass the wider conspiracy of which that is a part? A big part, yes, but a part.
Yeah, not everybody here knows everything to the bottom line of how it began, how it started, and all these secret societies behind everything, how they manipulated it, how the Bilderbergers said they're going to, create economic crisis to benefit them, to create a one world government system. And there are some factions here who are promoting that one world government system here, the communists and the socialists here. But there's also other people like libertarians, like Ron Paulers, Not 11 Truthers, and the Fedders. And also and that's two little wings here that are very different from each other. But they've been able to come together here when everything was built here, sleep together, take care of each other, feed each other, sit down and have a conversation and learn from each other. And that's what has been taking place here. People have been having these dialogues, these discussions. When I personally came here, I put my ego aside. I put my own agenda aside. I didn't come in here as a not 11 truther, as an end defender. I came down here as a human being willing to talk, listen, and learn. And I learned so much from these human beings out here. And but what you see is this communication is so key. It's so important. And that's why they have to stop it. And that's why they have to stop these people coming together.
Now, of course, since I've been here the last few days, it has been this significant point where something very different has started to happen. It started with the raid and the removal of people and the law that says you can't be here at night and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And the dynamics has changed. So where do you see it going from here, from this point forward?
I don't have a magic ball. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Obviously, it's getting colder. Obviously, the police oppression is so much stronger now than it ever has before.
I've never seen so many police in a city one place in my life.
This is nothing compared to what happened inside here Monday night. Not many people, all the journalists were again kicked out of here. They were dragged out of here. 7 of them were arrested for trying to cover what was happening inside of here. But what happened inside of here is beyond what I saw throughout my life covering the police state. And I went to the G20 in Pittsburgh and got LRADed. They had 3 LRADs here. You know, they had weapons and informational systems that were out of Star Trek down here. Huge mass trucks with huge satellites, lights everywhere, helicopters everywhere, stopping the media helicopters from even getting anywhere near. They closed the airspace off here. That's how afraid they are of this movement. I even forgot your question. I was just rambling on.
You're talking great. Carry on.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does. And I think that's what's beautiful about it. There's no plan. There's no leadership. There's no one person deciding, this and this is going to happen next and next and next.
Right.
Nobody knows because we all have to decide. We all have to come together. And I think that's the beauty. That's the amazing part of this. It's real. It's amazing.
What I think really needs to happen to push this on is that people of different political persuasions, I mean those even on the so-called Tea Party wing, the genuine people that can see the tyranny, they might have a different political view, but they can see the tyranny, come in common cause with people here.
Exactly.
So we have literally, we don't, not just enough to fill the park, but to fill the streets going back from the park, because in the end there's 7 billion of us, and there's a literal, comparative handful of those that are actually orchestrating.
And there's even discussions here that it's not even the 1%. It's the 0.00000.1% that have been dividing and conquering people from all different paradigms, from the left to the right, from communism to libertarianism, whatever it is. But what you see here is all those factions, all those different perspectives, all those paradigms meeting, coming together, breaking bread, sleeping together, and willing to discuss political ideas about what we all agree upon and what we're going to do next and how we're going to fix this problem that we all face.
I mean, the only ism we need is freedomism, isn't it?
Exactly.
Don't care about your background, your income bracket, your color, anything. Because we're all targets. We need to come together, or we get divided and ruled into this police state that's, it's
already coming. It's already here.
Yeah,
it's here right now.
It's here now, and it's just a case of how far we're going to let it go in. I mean, George Orwell would be standing here now, shaking his head.
Yeah, George Washington rolling over in his grave right now.
Not only saying "I told you so," but saying "I didn't realize it was going to be quite like
that
this."
Bad, yeah.
It's going beyond 1984, where they want to take us.
And we've seen that, and we've seen the Big Brother Society being set up here. But a beautiful sign I saw, it was like, just a couple days ago, when I was walking through here, when the camp was still here, there was like, "Dear NYPD, you're live. The whole world is viewing you on our live stream. Say hi." And they had a sign all over the park because really right now we have a chance to fight back more than ever, and that's why this time is more pivotal. They haven't shut down the internet, they haven't regulated it, they haven't controlled it. The free flow of information is out there, and that's why the mainstream media now is forced to cover this, because their whole audience is going online to see what's really happening here, and now they're losing all the audiences because they ignored this from day one. They ignored this for a week like it didn't even exist. I mean, Oakland shut down its entire city, but the mainstream media is still trying to like not mention it and not even bring attention to it. But what we've seen them trying to do is slander and try to destroy this movement from the inside by giving key time and key positions to some of the people who have their own agendas here, and making it seem like it's all of us when it's not.
I was going to come to that. I mean, you've got obviously agents provocateurs here to cause trouble, to
that's
to blame
definitely without
everybody.
a problem. Yeah,
and then you've got the not agents provocateurs, but
just
the
average retard, drunk, alcoholic who may come down here.
But like you just mentioned, you've got the like political version of agents provocateurs, which are people that the mainstream media give time to, who are claiming to represent what people are saying here when it's just representing their own agenda. How much of that is going on?
Tremendous amount of that. I mean, there's been many instances. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name different news organizations, but they've been giving play to the socialists here. There's a group called the Young Democratic Socialists, and they wanted demands for more government jobs, more government regulations, and more government taxes here. Everybody here freaked out against them, but they're trying to play it off like, yeah, they're the spokespeople for Occupy Wall Street when they're not. But they only haven't been doing that. They've been going after the mentally deranged people here that even some newspapers reported the NYPD sends mentally incapable people here, drunks, alcoholics here, to live here. And they've been sending them, they've been going all throughout the parks and sending them here. This is actually reported by the New York Post in order to break us up, in order to divide us, in order when an average person comes down here, sees this like rabble-rouser. And the mainstream media has been pretty much focusing on those mentally incapable people who are alcoholics, who are dependent on some kind of drug, who only come here to have the food and have the clothing and not participate in the General Assembly, not participate in the working groups and the committees here that are trying to build something on their own.
And that tells you something. That tells you they're terrified of where this could go.
Exactly.
I tell you, I love the freaking energy here. It's fantastic. You know, it's this what I call the non-comply dance.
Yeah.
We've got music for it now.
Resistance, the spirit is in the air.
Yeah,
right now.
the spirit of we're not having it anymore.
Exactly.
And you know, you've done a great job, Luke. You've done a great job here.
You too.
And it's really great to be here to feel this energy.
Information and knowledge is key, and that's why we have to keep talking together, keep communicating. Even if you disagree with somebody, you know, I still call them a brother or sister, and I'm still willing to listen and try to learn from them. And I've been able, you know, even communists, I've been able to sit down with them and become friends with them. Even though we come from totally different political ideologies, but we have those discussions, and we come together, and we're here facing the police together.
Well, it's interesting. You know what that pastor said in Nazi Germany? First they came for the Jews, I was not a Jew, so I did nothing. Then they came for the communists, and I was not a communist, I did nothing. Then they came for the trade unionists, I was not a trade unionist, and I did nothing. It's this divide and rule that they're desperate for. You know, what you're saying is that those barriers are falling, and that's just what we need.
Unity is key.
Yeah,
the elites are not even united themselves, and that's why we don't have a new world order. That's why we won't have a one world government now, because they're still arguing and vying for power in different factions. Now, the key to success is who's going to get unity first. The few 15 families that rule everything, or all of us. And it's a race to the finish of who's going to come together first. And whoever does is going to win.
I'll see you at the line, mate.
I'll be here, brother. Good seeing you.
Cheers,
Thank
mate.
you so
Good to
much.
see you.
Good to see you too, man.